Now I'm going to go directly to the scalp. The scalp is going to tell the story.
Wow.
Ooh.
Now the scalp is supposed to be pink, like the inside of your hand. The scalp is supposed to be pink, like the inside of your hand, skin. But if you see in her scalp, it's white. What is that white stuff on her scalp?
Kind of product.
I'm going to tell you because this is a short class. It's called the hydrotestosterone, DHT. You may have heard the letter DHT, but it means the hydrotestosterone. You hear the word testosterone. Right? That male hormone has attacked her scalp and is going to thin her out.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
We need to clear that scalp off the DHT. What are we going to clear it off with?
What?
We have 5 steps of products. 5 steps of products in your brochure. Scalp scrub, uplifting shampoo, you see the 5 steps. Now, you see the thin, we're going to lose that one.
Okay.
We're going to lose that particular one.
Why is it there? Why is the DHT there?
Excuse me, let me see.
Why is it there?
It comes onto the body. We just like struck it off extra stiff. We have, in the wintertime, I get on this system alone, okay? That's enough of that. We're going to go, she done ran up here. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Yeah. Get the light. No outside interference. I have to go on and go on and go on and go straight. This client has a coil pattern. It's called the coil twist out. Coil twist out. We featured the boosting jelly, the purple one. It is an incredible product. It's not going to give you a crunch. It's not going to give you flakes. And it's going to extend your style. A young woman was at the booth earlier. She said, I do 2-strand twists every night. I said, aren't your hands and arms tired? Do a 2-strand twist every night. Use some boosting. A lot of people got away from putting grease in the scalp. You need to put something on that scalp. Okay?
Mama used to grease
We
it.
have 710 moisture. Clean is incredible. We have tea tree cream. Also, we have jojoba that's going to give that extra shine. All of those are all, we don't have them all out there, but you can find them here in the Dallas area.
Mother Nature.
Yes.
Another thing I wanted to contribute to that question that she just asked about, should you put oil in your hair? Most of us know that our skin and our scalp promotes a natural oil.
That's called sebum.
So anytime you shampoo, you're shampooing that away. You have to finish what you shampoo out. So it doesn't produce that oil as fast as, you know, it would like after you shampoo it. You have to put back in everything you shampoo out to get the natural luster of your hair. So it's important that you keep it moisturized, especially if you shampoo it a lot, because you're shampooing away your natural oil, so you have to replenish it.
That's an excellent thing.
But you just have off. The same thing. You moisturize whatever oil you use into your body.
Do you have any questions on the floor?
The conditioner leave-in, should everyone always use a leave-in?
Leave-in with our line is incredible. If you don't have time to go under the dryer, okay, that's the thing. Woo. The question is, how often should you shampoo? And you guys are using terms we in the professional arena never use. You pulling, co-washing and stuff. We don't use those terms. We shampoo hair, and we don't wash hair. But that's and a lot of people are doing the co-washing. I'm writing an article on this for the industry in order to see what co-washing is really going to do to hair down the road. It may not be doing something to it now, but 3 or 4 years down the road, you put in all of this conditioner on the hair all the time and not really cleansing it out. Product buildup, the hair is going to become mushy, so you have to watch co-washing. You need to be able to get that hair. We always were taught to start with cleansing first. You're going to clean whatever you're doing first. And then you can go into your conditioners and stuff after that. But the thing is to cleanse the hair first. If you shampoo it, wash it, or pull it, whatever. It's going to the texture of the hair. Most like women have 3 textures or 3 to 4 textures of hair on your head. I have cooked up at the ground. Cooked is there. My sides are straight. My mother had straight hair. My sides are straight. So I had to really work with my sides to get them to curve up because it was straight. The back of my head, below that occipital bone, feel the back of your head. You feel a bone back here. Below that occipital bone, there is, my hair is curlier back here. So we have 2 or 3 different textures of hair on your head. The one that is most dominant, you go with that. I have a tendency to shampoo, essentially, with our sulfate-free shampoo. I have a tendency to shampoo every other day. Now, you may not want to do that, but my hair is short and I don't do the two-strand twist, none of that. I just shampoo and go.
Wash and rinse.
I'm on a mission, I go. Okay? Kashia is going to tell us what she's doing.
Today I'm doing a double strand updo. We use the curl boosting jelly as a holding agent. And what we're going to do in the front is twist the front out while she's having the back twisted up.
Can you see it? She is Speedy Gonzalez. Now this is like two styles in one. She has updo. The braided is updo in the back, and eventually she's going to feather out the front. She's going to take it a little.
And a style like this, you can stretch it out longer. If she was to just leave these double strand twists in and wear it for about a week to 2 weeks, then she can get another week to a week and a half with the twist out. So when you do styles like this, you maximize your hair and your money all at once. You know, because you can able to go longer without having to keep going back and forth.
How often do you moisturize, and how would you moisturize to prepare twisted up like that?
When you have it twisted like this, you want to use a clean and emulsifier real good in your hands, and then just run it through.
And if you have something that you put on your scalp, just take it between the parts.
Yeah.
Put it on your scalp.
We have a product that's called, it's not 100% natural, that is called Intense Moisture. That is incredible. So, some of you guys are all 100% natural, body to toe. Head to toe. But some of you still have the flexibility to use other type products. Our Intense Moisture out of our hair repair line is incredible. It's going to moisturize that hair. It's in hair repair. If you return, you're going to get a really good effect when you put that person on the side and seal it into the hair. Okay? Any other questions about boosted jelly? Yes. Yeah, she started with boosted jelly. No, silicones are not natural. These products are 100% natural. Okay, the question is, Tammy, before you did boosting jelly, did you do it? What did you do to prep the hair?
Only shampoo it, condition it, put oil in it, and then I'll go ahead and inspect it.
Using the green item, if you would look at your little brochure on Curls and Leaves, the green items are your prep items. Okay? This is going to set the foundation. The foundation is always right. We start off with our sulfate-free shampoo. And who has used this sulfate-free shampoo? How do you like it? People, we get thousands of calls saying they love this shampoo. This is the sulfate-free shampoo. However, most sulfate-free shampoos do not lather. This is going to give you incredible lather. You can feel it and see it working. Okay? That's a wonderful smell. And we have the leave-in conditioner as well. Leave-in conditioner. We have two conditioners, moisturizing conditioner This conditioner, I had 2 women that start crying last week. I said, what's wrong? Both of them said, we haven't been able to comb our hair out in 2 years. This allows you that foundation where it softens, moisturize that hair, and bring it back into a manageable.
We just finished the style. We set her ends. You can leave your ends free if you don't like the little curls on the ends. And I basically like to put those in there because it just also makes it a lot fuller when we do the twist out. And then I'm also going back and I'm putting strips over before she goes under the dryer. What that's going to do is if you go back with the mousse and just put a little on your edges and then lay it down with the wrap strips as you go under the dryer, it's going to lay the flyaways down. So it's going to help your style look fresher longer.
Tammy, give us the update.
Okay, this is the finishing result. And she can put whatever, like I put some little powder shells in there. She can take and put a big flower there. She can put it back, put a little hairband in it. When it gets older, it fills out the parts it out. It looks so much prettier as it gets older. Oh, it looks prettier as it gets older. Yeah.
And as the style gets older, you can take like a pink and lift it up to make it bigger and make it more coming out. Just kind of lift it up from the roots, and that'll help you do a different hair.
Okay, the mousse was featured in the straw set. I know a lot of you came by the booth and you saw Shauna putting the straws in the hair. She robbed Jack in the Box. And those straws are really nice, and you can cut them in half if you could do. Or you could do your
How do you fold her
straws.
How do you fold the straws in your hair?
Hair body pin. Okay, the mousse is what was featured with the Palmer and I personally see the person who has naturally curly or naturally wavy hair like yours, you would love using this product on your head. Anybody who has naturally curly or naturally wavy hair will benefit from it even more. I put the mousse on my hair as well. Shine and define mousse. And also,
This is an excellent style for transitioners. For the transition that wants their hair to grow out of certain lengths before they do the big chop. You can wear a straw set up until you actually ready to do your big chop, and it will last just as long as it would if it were natural or if it were all relaxed. But it's an excellent style for transitioners when you don't want to do the big chop immediately. It's something you can wear up until you're ready to do the big chop. I like the straw set because on natural hair, actually I think it does better on natural hair than it does on relaxed hair because it lasts a lot longer. The curls are a lot springier. It holds the shine a lot longer. The porosity holds the oil, so you can see the shine for a lot longer than you would on relaxed hair. What am I trying to say? It's one of the styles that can give you the look that you're trying to get when you're going into transitioning. Because a lot of people, when they transition, they're not familiar with what their natural hair is going to look like. So it's something that you can wear and kind of get used to what your hair is going to look like once it's natural.
In the front is the flat what?
The flat twist in the front.
The flat twist in the front. She applied the boosting jelly to that part of the hair. So she used two products with this particular style. Boosting jelly to get the flat twist up front and the mousse to do the spiral curl. I don't want to hear.
I believe that they each bring something in terms of their backgrounds and their perspectives to the table, and they can speak from different environments. Gerald Washington, raise your hand, Gerald. He's a successful attorney who's no stranger to the various issues that often affect the African American community. If you are his Facebook friend, by the way, he is constantly sharing with us very pertinent issues that affect Black America through his blog, blacklegalissues.com. So if you haven't checked it out, you should check it out because he's pretty good in terms of talking about some pretty pertinent issues. Yolanda Carroll, raise your hand, Yolanda. I wanted Yolanda, and by the way, Gerald is a single African American. I'll put you out there. He's a single, I won't be able to you guys to be following up, but he's a single African American brother, so just so you know, that's the perspective he's speaking from. Yolanda, who's also a single, successful, yes, she's successful because she is the first African American woman to get to the position she is in a very good old boy network in the railroad industry, BNSF, as a director of sales manager leading a team. Out of 40,000 employees, 150 years strong plus, this is their first here. And so as you see, yeah, I said we really need to hear what you have to say, how you manage to do it. Then we have next to her, Ron Madison, he may look familiar to you. He is the host of Neo Soul Cafe with Francis J. You guys are familiar with that TV show. And he also, not radio, right? Yeah.
Never live radio show, yes.
Okay, he does the radio as well. And he's also done a lot of TV and some movies as well. He is married with a precious family. And he's speaking from the perspective of being in the industry, of the entertainment industry. And I'm sure he has some things he may be able to share. Next to him, Deborah. Deborah Williams is just not a pretty face. She's oftentimes familiar with the whole light skin look. She just cut her hair. Her hair was down to she cut her hair for the seminar. But she also is a former NBA basketball wife. She was married to, I won't put his name up there, but she was married to a basketball player for 12 years in the NBA. And so she's been in that industry and got some things to share. And last but certainly not least is my maid of 20 years plus in marriage, my high school sweetheart. It's my husband, Mr. Adrian Davis. And he and I, well, he's been the one who's doing all the work, so I'm going to give you all the credit. He owns a disposable medical supplies company in Grand Prairie and has been doing that now for 10 years. He often joins me, as I mentioned earlier, in doing a few seminars, and we enjoy that. Our goal actually is to really, we do it because we just believe in sharing.
Let's get that out of the way right away. But, I mean, I think it still exists. I mean, and people talk about it. In fact, I did a survey on Facebook, just letting individuals know that I was coming, I was going to be speaking on this panel, and just wanted to get an idea of what ladies thought about hair. How ladies view natural hair, how ladies view good hair versus bad hair. And I tell you, I learned so much about hair and ladies talk about hair. I mean, but I think it still exists.
Definitely coming from a corporate perspective, it absolutely exists. But the interesting thing is, you know, we talk about natural hair and straight hair and all the different ways we can wear our hair. But truthfully, the majority population just sees us as their hair is different. They don't even understand what natural is, let alone pressing or straightening. So for them, it's just, your hair is different. It doesn't matter how it looks. It's just different than mine. It's not silky straight.
It absolutely exists because we talk about it. And now that I'm married and I have 2 young girls, I'm ultra sensitive about it because I don't want them to learn that, you know, my hair is different from yours and somehow I'm less than. It's your hair. So I think it's important that you have, you know, forums like this and events like this where you can embrace, celebrate, and educate about the different types of hair and how you can best wear your hair to make you feel comfortable. So absolutely.
I'm going to say, of course, it exists. I'm actually biracial. My mom is white, my dad is black. Grew up in a home where we went to a black church, went to a white school. So I was integrated with both blacks and whites. And what we heard, there's 6 kids, time and time and time again, oh, you guys have good hair. Oh, you're more white. And so it exists regardless as to whether or not we want to deal with it and face it. It's there. Does it mean that my hair is better than yours, or does it just mean that it's simply different? But we get caught up in good versus the bad. I went through KFC just the other day to deliver some food for a nursing home. Drive through the drive-thru, pick up my food, and the girl, 2 black girls in the window, lean out and they're like, you have some really good hair. And I'm like, I think your hair is just as pretty as mine. No, your hair is good. I mean, you know, so you can't, that stigma is still there.
That's the exact example, Dana, that I'm referring to. So we actually talk about good hair versus bad hair, whereas they don't see the difference between the majority folks.
So good hair looks like, I guess good hair has looked like, is that manageable? I mean, is that what good hair means? I mean, what does that look like? Is that looking like your hair?
Yeah. This is what I'm told. My hair's good.
Absolutely exists. I have 2 teenage daughters, and there's one of them, my other daughter, is a darker complexion, but has very curly hair. Her hair is curlier than hers, in fact. And they come home all the time saying, you know, the girls at school say, you know, what do you guys mix with? Because, you know, you've got your brown skin with all this curly hair, your light skin with this curly hair. What do you guys mix with? And so they're battling back and forth. And I always tell them, just tell me you mix with your mom and your dad. And the truth of the matter is, I think that we as a culture keep that thing. We compare each other. What's good? What's bad?
I think it absolutely you can interject. I think it's important. I learned way more like you, Daryl, more about hair than I thought I would ever know. But I went back a little bit in history. 1400 to 1500, African women in West Africa, hair was a big thing, but it was considered beautiful at all times. It was considered beautiful. It wasn't until the transport over to America when there was some damage. They didn't have the proper tools, combs and oils and whatever have to manage their hair, that their hair began to get matted. Of course, now we're in a European civilization. We arrived in America, and in white America, it was perceived as rebellious or inferior if you wore your hair woolly or it was kinky or matted, whatever. So there was that differential that took place once we arrived. So we lost our identity. We were going back earlier in terms of, go ahead. Let's hear what you had a question. But
I was going to say is basically
what I want ladies to know, and I know the guys will probably agree with this, guys go through that same thing. I mean, there are ladies that look at guys and say, Dana's husband have good hair. I mean, you know, guys with the curly hair, the guys that's able to gel their hair. That's why I can't. But I think the difference is that guys just don't buy into that. I mean, we don't worry about that type of stuff. We hear it all the time, and we
is that true, Darren?
No. It really is true.
Do the ladies buy that?
No.
They're not buying that you guys don't, and we'll get into a little bit. Actually, look at a poll on that.
Well, I tell you, okay, you have ladies that like guys that have the good hair, but for the bald head guys, I mean, Michael Jordan brought it in. It became like a style, and we just embrace it. And I just think it give guys the option to whether they want to go bald head, it's cool. If they want to let their hair grow, it's cool. And we just, personally, I just don't think guys worry about it.
Well, let me ask the reverse of that. Women, do we judge guys based on their hair? No. So it don't matter.
That really is not true. And you know what changed all that? You know what changed all that? In the early 80s, you know, light-skinned brothers was in. You know, you had straight or curly hair, you know, that was an advantage, right? But then in the late 80s, or in the early 80s, the thing that leveled the playing field was the induction of the Jerry curl. So then, brothers who maybe had tighter hair now can relax their hair. It was like, you ready for the word? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know, when brothers started wearing Jerry curls, then even your light-skinned brother that had white hair was like, But what it goes back to is, and I'll say this, especially when you look at the clip that you just showed, Chris Rock's movie that he got out there, the argument about good or bad hair in our culture is as ignorant as the argument about good or not good men in our culture.
Well, we're going to move into the relationship.
All right.
Say that. Go ahead, back there.
Well, I think this touching upon the lady's comment in regards to good and bad hair, and the two young ladies seeing you at KFC and saying, no, you have good hair, and then you reverted back to the comment of, no, your hair is just as beautiful. And then I think somebody saying, we don't having that identity. No one, typically, we're not going to admit out loud, I'm telling you your hair is good because it's closer to white. Because we know how ignorant that sounds. But unfortunately, with the images and the things that we see, we feel that if the whiter you are, the better you are. But we know if we admit that out loud, it's such an unloving statement. Such an unloving statement.
I think that lady right there was next to me. And I just want to segue in what she's saying. It's more of the brainwashing thing that we are not supposed to have our natural hair. We have done everything outside of wearing our natural hair. So now that we're coming into our own and we're starting to embrace it more, it's a beautiful thing, I believe. And I feel it just makes us more confident now. But the other side of it is like our men, like I know my husband struggled with me wanting to go natural. While my lifestyle says I can't wear relaxers. I'm better off with natural hair because I like to exercise. I want to sweat. This works, and it's supposed to. This is what it's supposed to be. And like I said earlier, I didn't look at men and say, your hair is natural, so why can't mine? And to see our sisters out here putting all the weed and literally just damn their hair instead of trying to embrace it and work out.
So I'm gonna let you finish.